Firkins House.
Firkins? Firkins? Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Keera, and if you've been watching my channel for a while now, you have probably kind of picked up that I'm Canadian. And today I thought it would be a fun idea to look up and tell you guys the 6 most haunted places in Edmonton. But before we get started, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the like, the bell. To be honest, I don't think the bell does anything, but why not hit it anyway? So now let's get into the video and talk about the 6 most haunted places in Edmonton. So starting off our list is the Princess Theatre. The Princess Theatre is a 3-story single-screen movie theatre that was designed by prominent local architects Wilson and Harold, and construction by one of Edmonton's most successful early entrepreneurs, John W. McKernan, in 1914. Like I said before, the building was built in 1914 as part of the Princess Block, a large building that also held residential space, a basement, and a 3-floor local. There are 2 legends of tragic things that have happened within the building. With the first legend, it is believed that the first patron of the apartments is the infamous ghost that is mostly seen in the Princess Theatre. As the story goes, a woman rented an apartment room but was scorned by her fiancé. Days before their wedding, she committed suicide because of the grief, and was also found hanging in her wedding dress. The second legend says that a bride was left at the altar and hung herself later that evening in her apartment. From both stories, you can see that there's 2 different variations of what would have or could have happened, but both are women in wedding dresses. And her spirit is said to be responsible for electronic malfunctions, objects moving on their own, and the feeling of being watched even when nobody is there. She has appeared to many, appearing as a ghost of a woman in a white dress, and she has even been caught in several photos. This apparition is usually seen floating through the lobby or down the main stairwell. And strange as it sounds, sometimes she has even been seen hovering above the projection room with a sad or upset look on her face. The Princess Theatre is also still open, and you can still go see movies there. I'll put the address right here, so if you want to go check it out for yourself, maybe catch a movie while you're there. It is on White Ave, so it's kind of downtown, but the experience is worth it because I've heard good things about the movie theater besides the haunted stuff. Second on our list is one that if you live here in Edmonton or Alberta, you kind of know, or you've heard about it on the news, is the Charles Campbell Hospital. I'm sorry, I'm so illiterate. It's not even funny. The amount of times I have to retake something because I'll say something wrong, it's astounding. Okay, the Charles Campbell Hospital opened in 1946 to treat tuberculosis patients, while also providing occupational therapy for Indigenous people of Canada, while also doing the most heinous and awful experiments on thousands of Indigenous people against their will. During the first decade of it being open, many patients were hospitalized and voluntarily sterilized and treated with experimental procedures that led to the death of many people, which is absolutely awful and would explain the aggressive paranormal stuff that happens within the building. The hospital closed down in 1996 due to asbestos, and it is said that the souls of the many people who have died there are still there, as though they are trapped. If you walk down the halls at night, many people have reported terrifying occurrences that happen. Lights flickering on and off by themselves, objects moving or floating through the air or across the room, the elevator to the morgue randomly turning on, and the doors opening by themselves, unplugged phones ringing, and the smell of sulfur. Many people have reported seeing a full body apparition that has multiple descriptions. The one that is talked about the most is a friendly older doctor that will just walk up and down the halls and will look at you but won't do anything. But it doesn't stop there. People also report getting bit, scratched, tapped on the shoulder, and even hit by something they couldn't see. Currently, at the time that I'm filming this, the Charles Campbell Hospital is being searched for the unmarked graves of Indigenous people because of the countless cases of abuse, neglect, and horrible actions that the Canadian government, doctors, and Christians have done throughout the years. Currently, as I am filming this, from what I've heard, the Charles Campbell Hospital is being turned into condos. Which, I don't know about you, but I would not be one of those people who would be jumping to buy or rent one of those places. Okay, on to number 3. We have the Firkins House. And I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I had to look up how to say it. It's either Firkins or Firkins. But anyway, the Firkins House still stands in Fort Edmonton Park on 1905 Street. And although there has been no deaths reported, the Firkins House still has some spirits in it. Nobody knows, not even myself, who they are, but there has been a lot of spooky... Oh my gosh! But there has been a lot of spooky... Oh my god, again! There's been a lot of spooky happenings that has happened and occurred within the house. The myths or legends vary from storyteller to storyteller, person to person, on who or why those spirits are there. Some say a woman spirit has been seen floating and hovering by a bookcase, a ventriloquist doll materializing in cupboards, and the apparition of a very sickly boy. Some accounts claim that the ghost is a small boy, young enough to the point where he likes to play with a red ball. Others say he is more in his teens. In some versions of the story, it is said that he died from tuberculosis. In other people's stories, he is padlocked in a storage area and then murdered by his father, Dr. Ashley M. Firkins, who, might I add, was a real person. A lot of encounters that people have had while spending time in the house are a male voice singing a lullaby, and a ghostly woman who is not there, but shows up in photos taken in the living room, and a very mischievous spirit that could be a child that likes to pull on your clothes as you're walking by. However, the house does have a lot of residual energy in it as well. Reports around the whole park have described unexplained noises and even shadow people as well. So it's not just confined to this one house, but this is the one house that majority of people have experienced something in. Number 4 on our list is the McKay Avenue School. The McKay Avenue School was built in 1905. It is the original site of the Alberta Legislature. Then a school, now it is an archive and museum of the Edmonton Public School Board. In fact, an electrician died while working in the basement, and his spirit is blamed for majority of the ghostly activity that happens within the building, like moving things around and scattering the chairs that have been set up for meetings. A custodian for the building did a little bit of research on his own with an Ouija board, and found out a ghost named Peter died in 1912, working construction in an extension project and then falling off of the roof. People who work and have been to the building have also expressed and told experiences that they've had while they're there, like unexplained sounds and noises, messes like garbage and objects being thrown on the floor, chairs also being thrown in rooms, and multiple doors closing on their own. And the scariest of all, mystery scratches found all around classroom walls. Number 5 on our list is the Fairmount Hotel McDonald. The Fairmount Hotel McDonald was built in 1915. While concrete was being poured in the foundation of the building, one of the overworked horses stumbled into the mixture and fell in and died. Guests throughout the years have reported hearing galloping sounds in the middle of the night, and even seeing a spectral or ghost-like horse wandering the halls while pulling something behind it. There are even reports that in some of the rooms, a man has been seen multiple times, sitting in chairs, pacing near windows, or even just standing in the corner. Nobody knows who or where this man came from, but multiple people have reported seeing this ghostly apparition man during their stay at the hotel. The hotel is still open and running, so it is still accessible, so if you wanted to, you could get a hotel room there. On to number 6, our final number on the list. the CKUA Building. Although they have moved to a new location, the CKUA radio network was located in a building on 105th Street and Jasper Ave until the spirit or spirits that inhabited the building made it practically unworkable there. According to the staff at the time, the halls were haunted by a man named Sam, who served as a building caretaker in the 1950s. And it is said that Sam had really strange aspirations of killing former Albertan Premier Ernest Manning. Aspirations of killing Albertan Prime. Some say that he died on the job, but many others suggest that he was lobotomized by the government. His body was found in the building, and ever since then he has haunted it, and many times if you are there and when people were there, they remember smelling cigar smoke. Strange noises are still heard throughout the building, and many people have said that they've seen multiple apparitions from Sam to even a little girl who likes to hide and run around the building. So that concludes our list for the top 6 haunted places in Edmonton. If you'd like a part 2, because there's still a few more places that I can make a video on, make sure to hit the like button to let me know that you'd be interested. That concludes our video for today. And let me know, have you been to any of these places? Have you experienced any of the things that I talked about today? Or have you had your own certain special experience? Doesn't have to be at any of the places that I said today. If you've had an experience at a different place in Edmonton, or even not in Edmonton, let me know down below. But like I said, this concludes our video. So have a good morning, evening, or night, depending when you're watching this. And remember, it doesn't just have to be the places we talked about today. It can be your home, your school, your job, and something could always be watching you. But anyway, bye guys!